Your cheese is poisoning you, and the companies behind it know exactly what they're doing. For years, the UK has allowed additives shortcuts that other countries have banned outright. These hidden ingredients have been linked to cancer, diabetes, heart problems, and even behavioural issues in children. Yet they're still sitting on your dinner table. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to expose the 8 UK cheese brands you must avoid. The ones quietly harming your health while pretending to be pure and traditional. I'll also show you what you should be eating instead. By the end of this video, you'll never look at these brands same again. Number 8 is Cathedral City. You know this one. It sits in every UK fridge. A comfort cheese, a family classic. But that's exactly why it's a problem. Most people never read the label. And here's what most don't realise. Cathedral City relies on something called annatto colour, harmless name. But its real chemical form is Bixin Norbixin extract, a lab-processed dye linked to gut irritation and immune reactions. Yes, you heard that right. Studies suggest this additive can disrupt your gut bacteria, tighten your chest, and spike inflammation. That feeling you get after eating it, heavy stomach, bloating, sudden tiredness, that's not normal. Your body is struggling. And here's the disturbing part. Cathedral City markets itself as natural and farm-made. But large parts of production use high-speed industrial mixing. This process heats the curds, breaks down the milk proteins, and pushes the salt deeper into the block. One 30-gram slice, almost 20% of your daily salt limit. And it gets worse. This mixing destroys structure, makes digestion harder, raises blood pressure, and forces your gut to fight every bite. You think you're eating cheese. You're not. You're eating a salt-loaded industrial block held together with additives. Number 7. Philadelphia. You think this one is gentle, soft, safe, the light, creamy cheese you spread without thinking. But that's exactly why it's a problem. Most people never check the fine print. And here's what most don't realise. Philadelphia contains stabilisers like guar gum, harmless name, but its scientific classification is galactomannan polysaccharide, a processed thickener linked to bloating, gut disruption and blood sugar swings. Yes, you heard that right. Studies suggest it can interfere with digestion, slow stomach emptying, and inflame the gut lining. That tight, sluggish feeling after eating it, the afternoon crash, that's not normal. Your body is struggling. But here's the disturbing part. Philadelphia markets itself as light and simple, yet it goes through high-pressure homogenization, an industrial process that breaks milk fat into microscopic particles. This makes it smoother, yes. But it also makes the fat hit your bloodstream faster, spiking inflammation and stressing your heart. A 2 tablespoon serving, nearly 17% of your daily saturated fat allowance. And it gets worse. This process destroys natural structure, makes digestion harder, raises blood sugar, and leaves you hungrier, not satisfied. You think you're eating cream cheese. You're not. You're eating a processed fat paste engineered to feel soft and harmless. Brand number 6 is Pilgrim's Choice. You see this one everywhere. It feels bold, strong, reliable, a proper British cheddar. But that's exactly why it's a problem. Most people never look past the flavour. And here's what most don't realise. Pilgrim's Choice often uses calcium chloride, harmless name, but its chemical classification is calcium dichloride, a firming agent used to harden processed foods. Yes, you heard that right. Studies suggest it can irritate the digestive tract, disrupt mineral balance and trigger inflammation in sensitive guts. That burning stomach, the dryness in your mouth, the sudden sluggishness after eating it, that's not normal. Your body is struggling. But here's the disturbing part. Pilgrim's Choice markets itself as expertly matured and full of flavour. Yet parts of production rely on accelerated aging vats. This high-speed process forces the cheese to mature faster by heating and chemically stabilising the curds. And it gets worse. This shortcut destroys natural enzymes, making digestion harder. It also boosts salt penetration. Just one 30-gram serving, almost 22% of your daily salt limit. The result? More bloating, more water retention, more blood pressure spikes, especially in older adults. You think you're eating strong cheddar? You're not. You're eating a chemically firmed salt block dressed up as mature flavour. Brand number 5, Wyke Farms. People trust this one. It feels family made, village fresh, and wholesome. But that's exactly why it's a problem. Most people never check the small print. And here's what most don't realise. Wyke Farms uses natamycin in some of its cheese coatings. Harmless name, but its scientific name is polyane macrolide antifungal compound, a powerful preservative normally used in pharmaceuticals. Yes, you heard that right. Studies suggest it can disturb gut bacteria, irritate the stomach lining, and interfere with nutrient absorption. That strange dryness in your mouth, the heavy belly, the sudden gas after eating it, that's not normal. Your body is reacting. But here's the disturbing part. Wyke Farms brands itself as traditional and naturally matured. Yet many blocks go through mechanical accelerated curing, a factory shortcut that heats and rotates the cheese to mimic months of aging. And it gets worse. This process breaks natural fats, reduces nutrients, and pushes salt deeper into the cheese. One 30-gram serving, around 19% of your daily salt intake. This means more inflammation, more blood pressure stress, harder digestion, and a gut working overtime to cope with chemical preservation. You think you're eating farmhouse cheddar? You're not. You're eating a factory-boosted, preservative-coated block engineered to taste traditional. Number 4. President. You see this one in every chilled aisle. It feels premium, French, and trustworthy. But that's exactly why it's a problem. Most people never question the softness or the shine. And here's what most don't realise. President often uses potassium sorbate as a preservative, harmless name, but its scientific form is potassium E202 2-propanoate, a chemical linked to irritation and immune disruption. Yes, you heard that right. Studies suggest it can damage gut bacteria, trigger inflammation, and interfere with hormone balance. That tight stomach, the burning sensation, the sudden headache after eating soft cheese, that's not normal. Your body is struggling. But here's the disturbing part. President markets itself as authentic French dairy. Yet large parts of production rely on ultrafiltration, an industrial shortcut that forces milk through high-pressure membranes. This strips natural fats, breaks protein structures, and concentrates salts. And it gets worse. A typical 30-gram portion of President Brie, about 18% of your daily saturated fat limit. This leads to heavier digestion, higher blood sugar, more joint stiffness, and a gut forced to fight preservative-loaded soft cheese. You think you're eating luxury brie. You're not. You're eating a chemically preserved fat paste engineered to feel French and premium. Brand number 3. Seriously, this one feels strong, bold, and trustworthy. A proper Scottish cheddar that many families rely on. But that's exactly why it's a problem. Most people never check what makes it so strong. And here's what most don't realise. Seriously often uses calcium chloride to control texture, harmless name. But its chemical form is calcium dichloride, a firming agent also used to harden canned foods and stabilise industrial products. Yes, you heard that right. Studies suggest it can irritate the gut, upset mineral balance, and trigger inflammation. That dryness in your throat, the sudden bloating, the heavy stomach after eating it, that's not normal. Your body is reacting. But here's the disturbing part. Seriously markets itself as properly matured and expertly crafted. Yet a large part of its production uses high-speed maturation barrels. These heated rotating vats force the cheese to mature faster, saving months of natural aging time. And it gets worse. This shortcut breaks down natural enzymes, making digestion harder. It also forces salt deeper into the block. One 30-gram serving? Around 20% of your daily salt limit. More inflammation, more blood pressure stress, more gut strain with every bite. You think you're eating strong cheddar. You're not. You're eating a chemically firmed, factory-accelerated cheese engineered to taste seriously strong. Number 2. Dairy Lee. You grew up with this one. Kids love it. It looks soft, friendly, harmless. But that's exactly why it's a problem. Most people never question what makes it so smooth. And here's what most don't realise. Dairy Lee contains trisodium citrate, harmless name. But its chemical form is sodium 2-hydroxypropane 1,2,3-tricarboxylate, a processed salt that forces cheese to melt and stretch unnaturally. Yes, you heard that right. Studies suggest it can disrupt digestion, irritate the stomach, and spike blood pressure. That salty aftertaste, the dry mouth, the sudden tiredness after snacking on it. That's not normal. Your body is struggling. But here's the disturbing part. Dairylea sells itself as a fun, creamy cheese. Yet the creaminess comes from high-temperature emulsification, an industrial process that blasts milk, oils and salts together under intense heat. And it gets worse. This destroys natural dairy enzymes. It also forces sodium deep into the product. One small triangle, nearly 9% of your daily salt limit, from a children's snack. This means more bloating, more cravings, more blood sugar swings, and a gut-battling processed cheese paste, not real dairy. You think you're eating creamy cheese. You're not. You're eating a melted salt and additive blend shaped into triangles. Brand number 1, Galbani. People love this one because it feels Italian, fresh and authentic. Mozzarella you can trust, but that's exactly why it's a problem. Most people never question the liquid it sits in. And here's what most don't realise. Galbani often uses citric acid as an acidity regulator. Harmless name. But its industrial form is 2-hydroxypropane 1,2,3-tricarboxylic acid, a factory fermented chemical linked to gut irritation and inflammation. Yes, you heard that right. Studies suggest it can disrupt gut bacteria, damage the stomach lining, and trigger bloating. That sharp feeling after eating mozzarella, the sudden gas, the tightness around your belly, that's not normal. Your body is struggling. But here's the disturbing part. Galbani markets itself as traditional Italian cheese. Yet much of the production uses ultrafiltration, a high-pressure industrial method that strips milk of natural fats and proteins before rebuilding them into mozzarella texture. And it gets worse. This process destroys natural enzymes, removes nutrients, and creates a rubbery structure your stomach has to fight to break down. A 125-gram ball? Around 22% of your daily saturated fat limit. More inflammation, more blood sugar strain, harder digestion, and a gut forced to handle factory-modified dairy. You think you're eating fresh mozzarella? You're not. You're eating an ultra-filtered, chemically adjusted dairy block disguised as authentic Italian cheese. If all of this sounds overwhelming, here's the good news. You don't need supermarket cheese filled with gums, stabilizers, hidden enzymes, and processed shortcuts. You can make a clean, safe, homemade cheese with just 2 ingredients: real milk and a natural acid like lemon juice or vinegar. Heat the milk gently, add the acid, let it split, then strain it through a cloth. That's it. No chemicals, no preservatives, no hidden powders, just fresh curds your body can recognize. It digests easier, it doesn't spike your blood sugar, and it supports healthy gut bacteria instead of attacking it.